Hello, dear traders. This is Alex Gerchik, and today is our analysis of the market. First of all, I wanted to start with what I will tell you. I've been trading for 20 years, and the next year it's going to be 20 years that I've been trading, exactly from 1998. And the one thing I actually figured out is you have to understand what the stock market is all about. It does not really matter what you trade. You should understand one thing. There is only two players. There's a buyer and a seller. And even the buyer needs to buy, and he's a big buyer, it does not really matter. He's going to do anything possible. I mean, just to prove it, take a look at the serial, which is called Billions right now. I mean, yesterday was the episode when they were shorting the stock on the news, providing the company was providing fresh juices, and the company had the problem because, they inject some juice bottles with some poison, and the stock got collapsed. These days, you don't really need much in order basically to take the stock much higher or to collapse the stock, especially to collapse. Sometimes the company which makes billions of dollars and one little misrepresentation or 3 or 4 different death cases, and the stock is going to get disaster. I mean, the stock is going to get going down almost to zero. It used to be the company name. That's the stock I made, basically one of the most money I ever made in a long-term stocks, Elan, Pharmaceuticals. So, I will just give you an example. I will show you the stock so you will understand what was the case. Probably I don't even have a monthly chart anymore. No, actually, fantastic. So I will show you right now. Okay, this is the Elan Pharmaceutical. That's when I start to trade, and at one day the stock is getting collapsed. It's going all the way down, almost to $2 a share. Take a look. I mean, in a few weeks, can you believe it? The stock from $55, it's getting collapsed. So what's going on? The company used to have a drug which is called Forex. Forex used the reason I know because of one friend of mine has a back problem. So this company, used to make billions of dollars on this product. If you have a back problem, and for example, you have a nerve jam, you take a pill, and sooner or later, basically, pills start to work out. It blocks some vessels there, and you find it doesn't hurt anymore. So at one point, when the stock is collapsed from $45, $50 a share to almost $2 a share, why? Because of 3 or 4 different death cases. Very important thing to figure it out. There's millions of users of this particular drugs and only 3 or 4 cases. Stock get collapsed. Basically, as you see, stock recover after that. But they only recover when they figure it out that these people was over 70 years old and they did have heart failures before. So what's going on in this particular in this particular case scenario? I mean, in the industry itself, it's not that easy basically to take stock higher or lower. But the very important thing, what I want to tell you, is you have to figure it out who's sitting on a stock, buyer or a seller. I want to start with let's say with this stock, Ruby. What do we have right now? And today is the good example. The market is going to open right now. Take a look. Probably to $7 or $8 a share. What's going on? The reason why the stock holds here for almost 2 months, for almost month and a half, it's just because somebody is trying to build a position. When you see very identical levels of support and resistance, and the stock is in the channel, for as long as it's in the channel, it means somebody is trying to accumulate a large position. Just for you to understand, we'll see how the level holds here. I'm going to show it to you the lows and highs so you'll understand. Okay, we have low 542, we have low 540, we have low 542, low 539, 540. Take a look. 537, 539, 545. So what do we have? We have a very, very big limit buyer who is trying to buy the stock at the level of 535, and he's not letting the stock go lower. As well, we have somebody is trying to sell at about $6 a share. Let's see. Okay, high is a 598, 595, 599, 599, 594, and yesterday we had a 6. So the very important thing today, if they're going to allow buyer to stay above $6 a share. As you see, stock just opened at 593. Right now it's 9:30 in the morning. We start a little bit early today. As you see, stock just opened at 593. Very important thing with the stock today, it's to close above $6 a share. Went there and stay there. If the stock is going to close above 6 and stay there, the stock is going to have all the chances to go higher. If not, stock has no chance. But very important thing is to watch out. It's for the channel. If the stock is not going to be able to break 6, stay there, and move higher, it definitely going to go back to 535. That's how the big buyers and the big sellers work. So the very important thing is to watch out how he's going to behave at the low and high side of the level. So very important thing is to watch out for the stock at $6 a share, and you have to figure it out. If, as I said before, the stock is going to manage to stay above, let's say 6,602, it has all the chances to go higher. If not, you should understand it's staying there for almost, a month. No, actually almost 2 months. Last time the price for the stock at $6 a share was in March 16th. So today we have a May 8th. Almost 2 months. Somebody's trying to accumulate a position. When you watch the stock like this and you say nothing is going on there, you are completely wrong. Actually, it's not nothing is going on there. Everything is going on when the stock is trying to be in consolidation. So when the stock is consolidated, there is a money, somebody is basically buying the stock. So you know one thing for a fact, that's really somebody is buying here or somebody is buying here. So very important thing in this case scenario, write down to your stock is RUBI and see how the stock is going to behave. As I said, once it's going to push up to 603, 604, 605, you see, as we see right now, then the stock has all the chances to go higher. So if it's going to stay above, the most important thing for the company, for the stock right now, is to close above $6 a share. If it's going to manage to close above 6, it has all the chances to go $7 and $8 a share. Most likely, it's not going to be a false breakout. It's going to be just a breakout. So you have to figure it out and how it's going to see. The beautiful part about this particular scenario, since the stock is not far away from the level, the stop is going to be very small. So you see it's 602. So once we're going to complete our webinar, we're going to come back to this particular stock. Then another very nice scenario. The reason why I want to show you the stock column and explain today, it's going to be a little bit different than usual. Besides I'm going to show you the stock, I'm going to explain what's going on and why you should pay attention. As you can see, the stock, before I was telling you about the stock before $3 a share, stock went up 5 times, 500% in less than 6 months. So about 4 months, the stock went up 500%. What do we have after that? Once the stock is going up, obviously, there's somebody is buying the stock, somebody selling, somebody pushing the stock higher. So very important thing is to watch out what's going to be sold. When you see a situation like this, when the stock is basically went up a lot, and then it's trying to consolidate it and it's not going any lower, it's going to be definitely a second move. What does it mean here? It means a big buyer who bought a very large position, planning to take the stock higher, he is not going to allow the stock to go lower for one simple reason. If the stock would break, everybody is going to sell, and this guy is not going to have the energy to push it higher. So his job is to hold the stock for as much as possible, just to figure it out what's going on. Take a look what's going on here. The stock basically is in the channel, $12 a share, and right here the low side of the channel is about $10.50. When, as I said before, pay attention when the stock is in consolidation. In consolidation, that's when the most happening. When it's quiet, that's when something is going on. When it's basically a lot of air around, it means something is really cooking. So in this particular case scenario, take a look. Something is really cooking. Somebody is really trying to buy the position or sell the position, accumulate. So you have to watch out how the stock is going to behave. Very important thing. When you see the stock, it's going from one level to another, one to another, one to another, it means somebody is buying or selling a large position. Why? When the stock is right here in the middle, you're never going to sell it. Never going to sell it. You're going to stick with the position. But if you see the stock is basically going from one point to another, you're definitely not going to hold, because every time it comes to the low side of the level, these guys who was buying right here in the stock, they're definitely going to sell because they feel very uncomfortable. And when somebody is trying to sell here and the stock is going to the high side of the level at $12 a share, somebody feel uncomfortable and they're definitely gonna buy it back. So in this particular case scenario, somebody's trying to accumulate the position. But as I said, the beautiful part, very beautiful part, that's when you see a very good level. Take a look at the level. I'll show you right now. High 12, 1195, 1195. So when you see something like this, you know there's a limit seller. So if this limit seller is going to be taken, the stock is going to fly. Another thing, as you see, few false breakouts at the level of 12, and it's not going any lower. It means there's no sellers. So most likely, if somebody is accumulating a large position before the stock is going to go higher, so most likely the stock, it's going to break $12 a share and go higher. Usually, you don't see what's going on. All you can see that somebody is really trying to accumulate the position. So what do you have to find out? You have to find out what is really is going on in the stock, and you can only find out this by really trying to not to go by bar analysis, but you have to understand the whole picture. You see, I'm telling you way before something is going on, so you have to understand what's really going on. Here's a ruby. You see, it's let's see 5-minute chart. It couldn't break higher. You see, it couldn't break 603 previous high. It couldn't break it. So looks like the stock not ready to go. It might go today. It might go tomorrow. And another stock that I want to present it to you and show to you is Forex. As you know, very interesting story. Bill Ackman lost almost $4 billion in the stock. The stock used to be, I'll show you again, and if some of you stay with me long enough, they know I've been recommending the stock to short right here at $140 a share. It was a big problem in the stock, and you see stock got collapsed. So Bill Ackman get out at the very late stage when the stock is already right here, the gap at $12 a share. He get out, and as you see, stock touched the low, and it's right now pulling back. What's the beautiful part about the story? You see the volume is dropping, and the stock is not going lower. What does it show to you? Most likely in this particular stock, somebody is trying to accumulate the position, as you see. But the beautiful part is that probably there's no resistance. That's why when the stock is trying to go lower, that's why the volume is low, because nobody is selling. So we have to watch out how the stock is going to behave right here at 1067. You cannot buy the stock early for one simple reason, because you have no proof that the stock is going to go higher. But take a look. If you take a look, that's a very important level. You see, let's see. Okay, low 1070, low 1065, low 1066, low 1067, and the high is right here. Take a look, 1058. So you know one thing for a fact, that 1060 there is a very big level. If the stock is going to be able to break 1060, then it has all the chances to go much higher, to $12 a share, to even higher. So when you do understand the stock, your job is extremely simple. It's to identify there's a buyer and a seller. How to identify a buyer and a seller? Recently, I have a very interesting interview with, in my opinion, one of the greatest author of all the books and trader as well. And the beautiful part is he said one thing. I usually don't look at the pattern. I look for the break of the pattern. So the beautiful part is you have to watch out when the pattern doesn't work. So for example, if there's a false breakout and you understand that the stock is going to go lower and it's not going lower, most likely it's going to go higher. You have to watch out for the whole scenario. Don't ever look at the one little thing or a few bars. Take a look the way the stock behaves itself. Thank you very much, guys. Watch out for what I do. Good luck to you and all the best.